Welcome to another Figuring Out Japan video. We sell all the coolest Japanese collectibles and figurines straight out of Japan, and you can find out more details about us in the description of this video, including our Facebook page and our eBay store, including a link where you can buy this figure, which is the Monkey D. Luffy, King of Artist. I gotta get the name right here. King of Coloring, the Monkey D. Luffy. So the background to this figure is that there's actually a bit of a story to it. There was a full color page newspaper advertisement that appeared in Taiwan and America, and it garnered a lot of interest and talk about the One Piece series, which was, basically the intention of the advertisement. And the advertisement had a picture drawn by the creator, Ichiro Oda of One Piece, showing Luffy basically in the stance that you see here right now. And because of the, the popularity of the image, they decided to make a figure of it, and it was called the King of Artist Luffy. And it was kind of a one-off random release, and it was very well received. A lot of people even in Japan wanted to buy the figure. In fact, ironically, the figure was initially only released in Japan, although I think they did release an international version. I could be wrong on that. But they've since now released other figures in the King of Artists line, including Ace and Trafalgar Law, and I believe we're going to get a Sanji later this year. But yeah. So now this particular Luffy is a re-released version of the original Luffy that was released in December 2014. This one came out last year, and basically the mold is exactly the same, but the coloring is different. You can see it's got all these sort of black marks and shading to it. So it's the re-release version of the original version. So that's kind of the idea behind this one. I guess because it was such a popular figure, they wanted to, have more supply of the figure, and basically they never try and re-release exactly the same thing because, collectors are going to get annoyed. So they always try and, mix it up a little bit. The original version is pretty hard to get now. Like, it really is quite hard to find in Japan. And even this version that came out last year is getting pretty difficult to get, so... But, in terms of, let's talk about the size. So the size of this figure is, so basically it's the same scale as the Master Stars piece figures for those of you who collect them. It's technically a different series, but the scale is basically the same. I didn't measure the figure, but I know the box is 20 centimeters or 200 millimeters, and the figure... Luffy, as you can see, is just a little bit bigger, so he's probably about 210 millimeters, 21 centimeters. And as a comparison for size, that there is an iPhone 5 case, so you can see it's relatively big. And if I put just a standard size figure next to Luffy, you can see, I know it's Dragon Ball, but whatever. You can see he's a bit bigger, but you got to remember he's in a crouching stance, so if he was standing up, he'd be a good sort of 25, 26, 27 centimeters. So, the actual physical body size is definitely the MSP scale. The figure comes in 3 pieces. You get the body, the lower half, and then the top half, and that just clicks in, no glue or anything. And then you get this sort of base thing. It's meant to be like, tiles sort of scrunched up, and that just goes behind the foot like that. But you don't need it. But I actually really like how they made the stand sort of look part of the scenery. Some of the Master Stars piece stands, if I just show you this one, it just looks really ugly. So, and they've done that with a lot of the Master Stars piece figures, but this one, it's nice that they actually added that in. And, if you don't want it, it very easily stands, you can wobble him around, he's not going to fall. It's not an easy thing to do, and one of the reasons why, there's always fakes on the market for some of this stuff. A lot of the fake ones will have a stand because, the manufacturer couldn't get it right, but You know, the feet are really flat and they're not going to move. You can see the detail as well on the bottom of the feet. I didn't quite get that in focus, did I? Let's have another look at that. So you can see all the tread in there. And yeah, just overall, lots of detail. Obviously, they've really got, you know, the muscles right, and you know, you can see the sort of bones in the finger, and just all the creases and things. That's not just paint. It actually does the mold itself sort of moves in and out. And then you've got the detail there. I should mention as well, I have reviewed the original version of this. Unfortunately, I don't have one here right now to compare side by side, but I'll put a link in the description of this video for you to see the original version. So let's have a look at the box quickly. I really like the box, actually. Looks really cool. So that's obviously the front, and then the side, and then the back. And then the other side, and then the bottom. You can see, get that in focus. Uses prize in Japan only, so authentic item, like all that stuff. And then the top, you can see the gold animation sticker. In terms of what I think about this figure, I have to admit, when I first saw the King of Artists one, like the original release, I thought it was really cool. When I saw this one, I thought it was a little strange, to be honest, when I first saw it. And looking at it now, I still feel it's a little strange. And I think the reason is because you don't really have any sort of gradual toning. It's either black or it's not. So if you look at the leg, for example, it's totally black, and then it sort of hits this line, and then it goes to normal. So I think if it was like a gradual thing, which is very hard to manufacture on a mass scale. You see people do repaints and things of it, but it's just, you know, even the face, if it was, you know, this color and then it kind of slowly went to a black, then maybe it would work. But I don't know, to me, looking at it like that, it just looks a little strange to me, to be honest. It just looks like a bucket of black paint got spilt on you. But it really depends. I mean, the customer who bought this figure, you know, they preferred this one over the standard version. It does look pretty cool, actually. It actually, I mean, it looks pretty cool. I guess it really just depends on the person. But it definitely does give it a sort of meaner, you know, darker look than the standard version. And if that's the sort of the effect that you're looking for, then it's cool. I think it was an ambitious thing for Banpresto to try. Definitely an interesting idea. So who knows? Maybe they'll do it again. Although the Ace King of Artists is being re-released, and I don't think they're going down this path. In fact, from just quickly looking at the promotional images, I didn't really notice any large changes to the original version. But there you go. Very popular series. So there you go. That is the Luffy King of Artists special coloring figure release. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.